Hare Krishna. This is Goloka part 2 video. In part 1 video, we saw that we need to cross 16 gates to see Lord Krishna and Radha. So, to enter into Goloka, you need to cross 16 gates. So, there are 16 gates in Goloka Vrindavana. To see Radha and Krishna, you need to cross the 16 gates. And we saw totally 8 gates in previous video, in Goloka part 1 video. So, in this video, we are going to see from gate number 9, and also very important thing, we are going to see how Radha's beautiful palace will look. Also, we understood in part 1 video why 16 rounds are done, right? In Brahma Vaivarta Purana, 16 gates of Goloka Vrindavana is mentioned. So, my understanding is that we are doing 16 rounds in Iskon so that we can cross the 16 gates of Goloka and see Lord Krishna and Radha. Okay, now let's go to gate number 9. Gate number 9 looked very beautiful and it looked better than gate number 8 obviously, and the gatekeeper name, the Dwarapalaka's name is Subala. He was gloriously decorated with 1,200,000 diamonds and he held a staff in his hand. Staff means like a kind of stick in his hand, and it had 4 courtyards paved with diamonds and precious jewels. And this particular gate number 9 was having a great network of flower garlands. In previous video, we saw devotees were trying to enter Goloka Vrindavana and they got the permission from gate number 1, Dwarapalaka of gate number 1, and then subsequently they entered and reached till gate number 9. So now the devotees are proceeding towards gate number 10, and this gate number 10 had a glory that cannot be described, a glory that had never been seen or heard of before. The devotees became filled with wonder. The gatekeeper name is Sudama, and he looked very handsome and charming, and his handsomeness cannot be described because he almost looked like Lord Krishna himself. He also held a staff in his hand, and he was accompanied by 2 million gopas. Now devotees, after crossing this gate number 10, are proceeding towards gate number 11. The gatekeeper name of gate number 11 is Sridama, and he was one of the kings of Vraja. He was like Sri Radha's own son, and he wore yellow garments. He sat on a beautiful throne of priceless jewels, and it was decorated with priceless jewel ornaments, was very handsome, and he was splendid with sandal, aguru, musk, accompanied by crores of gopas. And he was more glorious than the greatest kings. After seeing all these beautiful things, devotees are proceeding towards gate number 12, the most important gate. Gate 12 had many courtyards paved with precious jewels. It was very difficult to attain. This particular gate is very difficult to attain, and they had never seen this beauty before. It was very wonderful than earlier gates, and it's very beautiful and charming, and it had walls of diamonds. In this particular gate, devotees saw many beautiful young gopis decorated with jewel ornaments. They dressed in yellow garments, wearing graceful braids, all their limbs decorated with jasmine flowers, and they are decorated with jewel armlets, anklets and bracelets, their cheeks splendid with jewel earrings, and it's anointed with sandal, aguru, musk and kunkuma, and they were having broad hips and thighs, and gazing at them, the millions of gopis most dear to Lord Krishna looked amazing, and there were around 100 crores of gopis. They couldn't count how many were there. So this from gate 12 full of gopis were only managing this devatas who want to see Krishna and Radha. After getting permission from them, devatas are proceeding towards the next palace which had 3 gates, and it looked better than the previous gates, and all the gopis were very fortunate and they were in the full bloom of youth. They were decorated with beautiful ornaments. All the gopis in these 3 gates, 13, 14 and 15, were so dear to Sri Radha. So gazing at these 3 wonderfully beautiful gates, unlike anything else seen before and beyond the power of the wise to describe, and then speaking to the many gopis there, the devatas became filled with wonder. After getting permission from the gopis of gate number 13, 14 and 15, devatas are proceeding towards gate number 16, which is the main entrance to Radha's abode. As I told it in part 1, that first Radha's abode and then only you can see Krishna and Radha, right? So gate 16, the last gate, gate number 16, which happened to be the main gate of the inner apartment of Radha, it was the best of all the gate, and it was guarded by only the gopis, not gopas. And the 16th very beautiful gate was guarded by 33 gopis, and as usual they were wearing beautiful garments, and it was beyond the description, and they were decorated with jewel ornaments, and they were decorated with jewel bracelets, armlets, anklets, and their waist held a network of tinkling jewel ornaments, and their cheeks were splendid with jewel earrings, and their breasts were splendid with networks of blossomed jasmine garlands, and their moonlight faces robbed the autumn moon of its glory, and they were decorated with a network of parijata garlands, and their beautiful braids were decorated with many ornaments, and their lips were very very ripe bimba fruits, that is tindli in Hindi, and it is called ivy god in English. And their smiling faces were like lotus flowers. They looked very very beautiful, and their teeth were splendid as ripe pomegranate seeds. Always in poem, when they compare the teeth, they compare it with pomegranate seeds. And their beautiful complexions were like champaka flowers, and their waist were gracefully slender, and their beautiful noses were decorated with elephant pearls. You can Google what is elephant pearl, you will come to know. And it's full of this particular 16 gates, no, it's full of decorations, everything. And their hips were broad, and lots of their beauties are described. We are not going to go deep into it. And though they are so beautiful, their thoughts went to Lord Krishna. They are always thinking about Lord Krishna. Standing at the gate with unblinking eyes, the devatas gazed first at these gopis and then at Sri Radha's very wonderful abode, which was splendid with 2 courtyards paved with precious jewels, set with sapphire pillars, decorated with rubies and networks of parijata flowers, and fragrant with scented breezes. You can see in Indian culture, when you have a traditional house, it will have pillar, and in pillar, when there is any function, when there is any puja, we decorate the pillar with some flowers, jasmine flowers or something. A network of this flowers will go around the pillar. So like that, Radha's abode is decorated like that, and it has a beautiful courtyard also. In a traditional house in India, you can see courtyards. So there are 2 courtyards, and on the side of the courtyard also there are lots of decorations on the walls. After speaking to these beautiful gopis, the devatas, their hearts are yearning to see Lord Krishna's lotus feet. They are waiting when to see Lord Krishna like you all. When will I talk about Lord Krishna like you all? They are yearning to see Lord Krishna. Their hairs of their bodies are standing straight, their necks bowed, and their eyes filled with tears of love, happy tears, when they entered Sri Radha's abode. Why? Because they know that they are so close to Krishna, because they reached Radha's abode, so they are happily crying. Automatically tears are rolling down from their eyes, and they could see many palaces clustered around a beautiful courtyard and splendid with many things not found in the material world, appointed with jewel couches covered with fine cloth. Gopis were singing beautifully, and there were different musical instruments played, veenas, mridangas, etc. And most of the gopis are looking like Radha, and most of the gopas are looking like Lord Krishna, and filled with beautiful songs describing the transcendental qualities of Sri RadhaKrishna. So they gazed at all this within Radha's abode. They are inside Radha's abode and they gazed at all this, and they became filled with wonder. Listening to the sweet singing and gazing at the graceful dancing, the devatas stood there. They were in deep thought. They were waiting when to see Lord Krishna and Radha. Then they saw a beautiful jewel throne it looked circular from all the sides, and various types of small vases made in gems were fixed to it. The astonishing types of puppets, the flowers and the artificial forest were painted in the same, and they witnessed an astonishing type of the mass of luster. Luster means what? The light, very, very shining light. It resembled the luster to crores of suns, and it was shining like the divine flames, and its glory was spread on the height of 7 thala trees. So in one of the Puranas, Skanda Purana, I read it like thala tree means palm tree. But there are different tree names in Sanskrit, but in Skanda Purana I read it like thala is palm tree. So 7 palm tree height, the flame, it was looking like that, the luster. It was looking like crores of suns luster, the light. The mass of luster could snatch away the tejas of all. So whoever is feeling they are looking bright, it just that mass, just imagine the crores of sunlight. The powerful, it will be very powerful, right? Tejas, it will be very shiny. So it was all pervading the entire ashramas, the seed of all, and could dazzle the eyes of all. So at the sight of the blissful one, the eyes of all the gods were filled with tears, and hair on their body stood, and they could have a glimpse of the success ahead. So it means when there is a light, it means they are going to see Bhagavan, they are going to see RadhaKrishna. So all of them bowed before the mass of luster. Thereafter all of them got up and went closer to the mass of luster and looked at it quite carefully. They were looking it very deeply into the light. It's very difficult to see, but still out of curiosity they are very eager to see RadhaKrishna. See, when you and me appear, there won't be any light. There is a high chance that even the light will go off or there will be power cut. So, but when there is Lord, before the Lord comes, there will be brightness everywhere. There will be light everywhere. And that too, it's equivalent to crores of suns. It may be even more than that, but just to make us understand, it's described like it's equal to Koti Surya, crores of suns. So their success is very near, they are eagerly waiting. Looking at it carefully, the hands of Brahma, the creator of the universe, were automatically folded, and then Lord Shiva was standing on his right and Dharma to his left, and with their mind filled with devotion, all of them started offering prayer to the Lord, who is beyond the comprehension of everyone and is the great soul. So Brahma started praying, I bow in reference to the form of luster, who happens to be the best. He is the bestower of all the boons and the cause of the boons and the cause of all the jivas. So Brahma is praising the Lord, saying he is all pervading and he is the form of Atma. He is beyond the comprehension of all, indifferent, and he is the subject of discussion for everyone. So he is saying Sagunam, Nirgunam. There are two Brahmas, Saguna Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. So he is saying he is both. He is both Saguna Brahman, he is also Nirguna Brahman. It means he is both visible and invisible at the same time. Simultaneously he has the form and simultaneously he may not have the form. It's his wish. We cannot decide he is only like this or he is only like that, because he is infinite. Because it's beyond the scope of our understanding. He is beyond the scope of our understanding. It is written here like he is both visible and invisible, and he is the form of flame, eternal and everlasting, and he was having no qualities as well as possessing all the qualities. That is, he is having gunas at the same time. He is nirguna, visible and invisible. So he is saying, he is praising that Lord like this, and then he is beyond the description and unmanifest and manifest at the same time. He is a supreme one, and then he moves at will and is the form of all. And he is just praising that luster which he is seeing in front of him. He is the one who takes to three forms. There are three gunas, right? So he is the one who is giving us that gunas. So he is saying he has emerged from your race. All the gods have emerged from your race. So he is saying the Lord is beyond Shruti, and therefore no one can be aware of your true form. No one knows how the Lord is. No one knows his true form. So this is what Brahma is praying. I am not saying, this is what is written here, Brahma Uvacha. And then this is even Chaturvedis cannot understand. Chaturvedis means the one who knows all four Vedas. Even they cannot understand the true form of the Lord, because he is beyond Shruti. Shruti means Vedas or Shrutis. He is beyond Shruti. Therefore, the one who is the base of everyone, he is the form of everyone, the cause of everyone, that is Sarva Karana Karanam. He is without seed. He says he is Bijam Pita in Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma is saying the same here, and he is saying he is the cause of end of everyone, and he is beyond measures. So you cannot measure the Lord, or you cannot say this is how the Lord is, you are wrong, you are right. There are fights between Dvaita, Advaita, there are fights between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. So this is all totally illogical fight, because it's very difficult for us to understand how the God is. He is beyond the Vedas, he is beyond our understanding. So he is beyond all of your understanding of the qualities. So it's mentioned like there are 64 qualities of qualities for Lord Krishna, but it means that does it mean that he is only having 64? No, 64 in the sense that only the human, our brain, our stupid brain can only understand that much qualities. So it's mentioned like 64. But in fact, he is having innumerable, uncountable qualities, but the human brain can only understand that much. So it is mentioned like limited to 64. We cannot limit the qualities of the Lord. That is a fact. That is a true understanding. So we cannot, how can we even limit this is only the number. We cannot give any number to the Lord. He is beyond our understanding. So here the Brahma is saying, you are the form of all the qualities, and you are the only goal for all the yogis. So yogis are meditating on the light. They used to Brahma is saying that yogis are meditating on this form of light. That is, behind this light there is Lord. So when there is God, first the light comes. It will be very, very bright. Then with God's mercy, you can see the Lord. You cannot immediately see the Lord. Like if you come to room, everyone can see you, but God is not like that. And Brahma is further praising that there are innumerable universes and there are innumerable devotees in different globes. So he is saying, since you cannot count the particle of dust and atoms, in the same way we cannot count the number of devotees in different globes. Okay, now Brahma is saying Mahavishnu is just a 16th part of your race. The race, we are only seeing the race now, the light, the light which is equivalent to crores of suns. So he is praising so that the Lord, out of mercy, he can make himself visible so that everyone can see. Okay, so Brahma is saying Mahavishnu is only the 16th part of your race. Very important point to note. Next, he is saying all the yogis are meditating on your light and they are constantly thinking about you. So he says, therefore, O Krishna, you appear before us in your tender, beautiful and attractive form, which is like the new clouds and has a dark complexion, clad in yellow lower garment, having two of your beautiful hands holding the flute, and you used to wear a smile always, and you are the best, and you are wearing a peacock feather over the head, decorated with jasmine flowers, and you are having the sandal paste all over the body applied, and the kasturi, aguru, saffron are applied over all the limbs, and you are adorned with all the ornaments studded with gem, and you are wearing a kirita mukuta on the head. And he is just describing the God's beautiful appearance. It means that he has already seen him once. That's why he could able to praise like this. And he is having the face of the fully blossomed lotus flower of the winter season, and the lips resembling the bimba fruit. That is, bimba is ivy god. There is a vegetable called ivy god. If it is ripened, that it will be very red in color. So that red is the color of Lord Krishna's lips. Now he is saying, you are having the teeth like the ripe pomegranate seeds. Always in poetry, teeth are compared with pomegranate seeds. Okay, next he is saying, in your chest Radha always dwells. So who will not be anxious to have a look at such a charming face of yours? Hence, Krishna, please, we can't wait any further. We bow before you again and again. Similarly, Lord Shiva and Yamaraja, Dharmaraja also paid their obeisances. So they are very eagerly waiting there in that ashrama for a long time, and whoever is reciting this shloka daily, that is Brahma's praise. Brahma was praising, right? And you heard that only now. Brahma was praising, Lord's lips were red in color, all that. So they will achieve the inaccessible and deep devotion of the Lord. Whoever is reciting this Brahma's shloka will get deep devotion of the Lord if they are telling this daily. So you will also get it because you heard it once. And all types of mukti, there are 5 types of mukti described in Vaishnava Sampradaya. So all 5 types you will get. So I will, at the end of this video, I will attach the link, 5 types of liberation. You can watch that video also. So just by getting the slavery of the Lord, that is Das Bhav, if you get the slavehood of the Lord, it said that you will get all types of, you are already attained all types of liberation or salvation by just being the slave of the Lord. And I am not telling this is what is written in the shloka. And he is adored in the universe like Vishnu and becomes famous like him. Means the slavehood, the person who has attained slavehood of the Lord gets all types of mukti at the same time. He also will get a universe like Vishnu, like a Vishnu loka, and like how Vishnu is famous, like that you will also become famous. And the person who attained the slavehood of the Lord will get success in speech as well as mantras. Means no one can put you down. You will win over the arguments or any logical things, and you will be expert in mantras. Okay, this is what is the shloka saying. And then the person who attained the slavehood of the Lord get all the fortunes, sound health, and his glory spreads in the universe, and he achieves a good son, knowledge, poetry, and indestructible riches. And the goddess Lakshmi always resides in his house, or he will always reside in him. He becomes chaste and noble, and all his people become stable. And his glory pervades the universe for a long time, and ultimately he achieves the abode of Lord Krishna. So this is the benefit of reciting the shloka of Brahma's prayers towards Lord Krishna. He is praying towards that light, the crores of light, right? So this prayer, if we recite daily, then for sure we get all this. Then we are moving towards chapter 6. So all the devatas are praising, right? And before the mass of that luster, the gods offered their salutations and prayers, and soon after that they found a human body inside the luster, which was having the complexion of the clouds filled with water, quite graceful, wearing a very small silent smile on the face. So we'll stop here because the video is so long. We will wait for part 3 video. You will see Lord Krishna and Radha. Hare Krishna.